The Dead Celebrities list is our annual ranking of how much a celebrity, although they're now in the afterlife, has earned over the past year financially, whether it comes from their name, their likeness, or the creative output, even though they're dead. These celebrities, even though they're dead, they can still continue to earn money through a variety of means. If you're someone like, for example, Michael Jackson, who features on our list usually every year based on his Cirque du Soleil show, his Broadway show that started this year, and even from his existing music catalog, all of those generate royalties that go to the estate. Others, such as David Bowie or Leonard Cohen, their publishing or songwriting or masters have been sold. So it's just like, Bob Dylan or Bruce Springsteen selling off their life's work as they did in the previous couple of years. Even though these celebrities are dead, there are people working on their behalf to facilitate these transactions. Take our top earning celebrity this year, J.R.R. Tolkien. He's the author of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit books, which are, beloved by millions around the world. He earned money this year through the sale of rights for TV, film, video games, merchandise, board games, and a variety of other types of merchandising and creative output, with a Swedish video game company called Embracer that purchased those rights back in September. And that was a purchase price that we're hearing of $500 million, which is our top earning celebrity for the year. It's interesting because the Tolkien rights and the Lord of the Rings rights break down quite complicatedly. They're owned between Embracer, which now has all the rights I just mentioned. The Tolkien estate does have rights to 7.5% profits of any non-derivative book works. HarperCollins has the publishing rights. Amazon actually has some of the rights through their acquisition of MGM and through their TV show that's now streaming on Amazon Prime, as well as, New Line, Warner Brothers still have some of the licensing rights from the films that were made in the early 2000s. And that's a really complicated one for this year, but it also earned the most money. Another celebrity who had a record-breaking year was Elvis Presley, otherwise known as the King of Rock and Roll. Elvis Presley had such a record-breaking year because of visits to Graceland, which accounted for 75% at least of his earnings from this year. I have from sources, close to the Elvis Presley estate that once COVID restrictions lifted, people started flocking back to Graceland to visit, which was, Elvis's home in Memphis. But in terms of the revenue and the money that they're spending when they're at Graceland is actually going up. It's not because of inflation, which, again, most people would think. It's because the people who run Graceland have started offering more VIP tier level experiences. You get all these extras, visits with folks who knew Elvis. Every time they have, concerts there, there's also a VIP option, and it sells out every single time is what they're telling me. And, people are buying more merch as well, is what I'm hearing. So more people are going to Graceland, not really because of the movie. They wanted to go back and visit, and they wanted to spend their money. COVID restrictions had lifted, but the movie does have an impact in the sense that more people are talking about it. The music is being played more, creating new interest and bringing more people into the ecosystem of what the Elvis Presley estate has to offer. I think the biggest surprise this year was Jeff Porcaro. He's a drummer who is most known for his work with Toto. He actually co-wrote the song Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa, which I'm sure you've heard at every karaoke night you've ever been to. But the thing about Jeff Porcaro is not only was he an integral member of Toto, he was a go-to drummer for legends like Quincy Jones and Steely Dan. He's played with a lot of famous musicians, and we're hearing that his catalog, his publishing rights, sold for $25 million this year, which is not as high as, a David Bowie or a James Brown, but still quite stunning for someone who is not an everyday household name like many of the celebrities on our list.